Hey everybody, Tim here. I want to give you an update on the Mustang, what's going on with it. Been dealing this morning with losing my cell phone, which is like losing an appendage. I don't know if any of you have done it, but I've got people that I'm supposed to contact and people showing up today that probably they're going to call 9 times wondering why I don't answer, but hey, part of life, I'll figure it out. Couple updates on the Mustang. I've got the front end off, so I want to show you some odds and ends in the front end mounting and what's going on with the car. Here goes nothing. Okay, as you can see, radiator's mounted. These are the little pieces I make here to hold that front tree in the front end. They're just welded on the end of the front end. These aren't welded yet, they're just tacked. Got that done. Then I want to show you back here in the back how we do this, because I'm sure a lot of people really wonder about this part. This piece here holds the front fender, the bottom of the front fender. As you can see, I take a piece of sheet metal and I put Zeus springs in it. I don't put it in before I weld it, but just the same. And as you can imagine, with the front end on the car, it'd be nearly impossible to mount and or tack weld this thing. So what you got to do is improvise. And what I've done, I'll show you here real quick and try not to shake you to death. I made a piece here. You can see this piece here. This is the same radius as the rocker. And then I bent some flanges on it to hold it straight, and what I do is I fasten this piece right on the rocker. Okay, and then what I do, and they're not there, I determine the thickness of the fiberglass and I put little pieces on the inside of that to hold it, so that holds this thing in line with the rocker. And I'm not doing a very good job of holding it, but just the same. And I tape that to the pieces of tubing that I've pre-bent. Then what I'll do is these are cut long, I'll fit them, and that way I can get in there to tack them real well. And then I put this little 1/4" tubing brace in there. As you can see, I've capped the end of the rocker. You know, I just MIG weld that stuff. And then that in turn locates the bottom of the fender for me. Makes that job a lot simpler. Like I say, I've drilled some holes in the rocker, I've touched them up. I sprayed a little bit of white primer on them just to keep the body from rusting up any worse. And then what I did, I didn't have the door clips done, but I want you to see them. That's called the anti-blow-off clip right there. And what it does is it catches the hinge and keeps the door from popping off the pins if you get bad tire shake or anything like that. But if you'll notice the angle of it, it goes in towards the inside of the hinge there, and you want that clip to do that so that when the door is open, you can pop the door off. I'm going to show you that. Try to. Pop the door open and then it pivots, the hinge pivots up like that, sitting on the lift right now, but then you can get the door off. Okay, something else I've done that's what the top of the finished door looks like. You know, I had to glass all that in and finish that up. It's just roughed in, it's not perfect, you know. I'm not the body man, I'm the fabricator, so I'm trying to get things so we can get it so the fabricator or the body man can finish it up. Door latches. On this car, since I use these mini bear claw latches in here, you can't use a factory handle. You know, you see me do that, I believe. So what I did is use a piece of 1/4" tubing and I bent a loop in it, and we'll be able to just hole saw a hole in the window and you can reach in with your finger and open up the door. Margins are fit like I talked about before. Got them done. That all looks good. Then I came back and finished the sheet metal and the wheel openings. I wanted to show you that. I had to do some rust repair at the bottom of the quarters, but on this stuff here, what I do is I use a piece of 1/4-inch tubing and I bend a radius in it and fit it in here. And this is not finished. The body man will have to take care of this, but like I say, I bend a piece of 1/4-inch tubing and then I'll tack weld that like every couple inches or so. Let it cool off completely and then put another tack next to the previous one and just keep going like that till it's all welded together. A lot of work, a lot of time, but in the end this is like a super solid piece versus just radius and the sheet metal. I've done that before too. Larry Cummings' car's that way. I didn't weld a tube in that. Probably should have, but in the end it turned out good. And I'll show you, here's a piece of that 1/4-inch tubing. I'm gonna walk over here to the vise and show you how I bend that. It's pretty simple. I've got my vices mounted on this round plate, as you can see, and I welded a piece of tubing onto the edge of it. And basically what I do is I just stick this in here, stick that in there, and then I'll pull it around here, pull it around that radius and bend what I want. So pretty simple. You know, you don't need a ring roller to do this kind of stuff. You know, just, I mean, I've actually, for a long time, I had an old wheel that I'd welded a piece of tubing on, a piece of, you know, 3/4-inch tubing on a 14-inch wheel and did the same thing. You know, couldn't find the wheel, so I did this, but we got that going on. And then I want to show you some stuff on the radiator, okay? I mount the radiator so they're easily removable. This is a Speedway Motors radiator that I had the TIG weld brackets on. You can see them there, so I could get it mounted in here. Drilled some lightning holes in it just for appearance sake, but what I want you to see, this is a piece of 3/4-inch tubing right here. You know, I mount these tabs to the radiator. Of course, you can see I tack welded the nuts. I usually do that on everything. And then I'll fixture the tubing and weld that tube to those tabs. And then that in turn helps me mount this piece, which is a piece of 7/8 tubing, 7/8 058 chromoly. And as you can see, I cut them on an angle. If you cut these straight, getting that 3/4-inch tubing to start down in there is a little difficult. So if you cut them on an angle, it gives you a starting point. You know, so the radiator is easier to remove and install. So, and I'll clean those up good, and you put a little oil on the bottom, and honestly you don't need to do any more. You put the radiator hoses on it and it'll stay in place. It's not going to fall out of the car. I had to move the water neck because on these Speedway Motors radiators the water neck points up because they're designed to be mounted in like a stock car at an angle. So, but I got all that stuff in there. I wanted everybody to see that. You know, another picture of the door hinges, the blow-off clips, how the door's finished up, quarter panels, all that good stuff. Next one I'll be showing you how I do the windows, because that's what I'm going to work on next. Getting all the Lexan put in this car. I know this is a short one, but it's where I'm at right now. Thanks for watching.